Triple H and The Rock tension behind the scenes, the real reason The Rock returned to WWE, a major development in the Vince McMahon allegations, and more. I'm Ollie Davis, and this is the WrestleTalk News.
Support WrestleTalk!
Our main story today has quite a bit of setup, so please indulge me on the context. Remember The Rock's incredible heel run in WWE this year? A run so hot it drove the company to week after week of monster TV ratings and their most successful two-night WrestleMania ever? Yeah, it wasn't that coherent. WWE's intended plan for WrestleMania 40 was The Rock versus Roman Reigns, with The Rock as a babyface, following his real-life business appointment on the TKO board of directors, WWE's parent company. The problem was, they also booked Cody Rhodes to win the Royal Rumble, where he clearly chose Reigns as his Mania opponent. The Rock turned up the following week, whispered something in Cody's ear, WWE's storytelling equivalent of the smoke monster from Lost in that I don't think they knew how that was going to pay off, and took Cody's WrestleMania main event as a babyface. And Rhodes would get his title shot later in the year. There was a major backlash online, so WWE smartly changed course, turned The Rock heel, and told one of the more memorable stories in company history. I wish I had WWE's version of events of all that, but the documentary they advertised to be released almost a month ago still hasn't come out. But then The Rock story took an unexpected turn. On Tuesday, movie journal The Wrap posted a takedown article on The Rock, alleging he cost an Amazon movie production $50 million because of his tardiness on set. Or he could be up to 8 hours late, that he had a falling out with Ryan Reynolds on the Red Notice Netflix movie, that one that gave us the Survivor Series egg, and that he put his inexperienced former brother-in-law in charge of larger scale movie shoots. There we go. Ugh. But it wasn't just the movie world the article claimed Rock was disrespecting. The Wrap also pointed out he was 2 hours late for his appearance at the WWE World Fan event on WrestleMania weekend, which is verifiably true. A lot of paying fans were upset, but was also 3 hours late for his WrestleMania Night 1 main event. Both WWE themselves and the Wrestling Observer, however, have denied that. Go watch Luke's news episode breaking down the whole article on The Rock by clicking the link in the video description below. After you've watched this one, of course. But now, in discussing The Rock's wrestling return and the Wrap article, Dave Meltzer has revealed everything might not be so one big happy family behind the scenes in WWE. There is a lot of stuff behind the scenes with The Rock that I didn't realise. It's really pretty obvious to me that there were a lot of games being played earlier this year when it came to the WrestleMania thing. Cody Rhodes winning the Royal Rumble was definitely done. There's definitely people who did not want Roman Reigns and The Rock match. It was a lot of manipulation going on that a lot of people aren't aware of. There's a lot of reasons for it too. I wouldn't even call it power plays, just very interesting games being played on both sides. This is delicious. And I've got more quotes right after a message from this video's sponsor.
Are you feeling sad, little Peter?
No, I just have resting sad face.
Are you feeling down in the dumps because you're constantly cast as a humiliated figure of fun?
I mean, well, I'm not down in the dumps about it. I just feel like I have more range, you know?
Do you get sad when you can't watch shows from all over the world?
Frustrated, I guess? What does that have to do with...
Do you call the Wambulance when your IP address isn't protected as you surf the web?
What?
Do cybercriminals make you wee yourself at the office and everyone laughs at you as they sing, Pete, Pete, the man who loves to wee himself?
That is a half-truth. How do you know that? Who are you?
Worry not, little Peter, because I'm your friendly neighborhood Surfshark. And with Surfshark, I can make you cool.
I don't want to be cool. I just want to be me. I'm enough. I'm enough.
You see, with Surfshark, you can be the coolest shark in the sea by staying protected from cyber criminals, protecting your IP address, and watching content from all over the world. Secure your privacy with Surfshark now by entering coupon code WrestleTalk for an extra 3 months free using the link in the description.
Please, can I go back to normal now? I don't want to be cool anymore.
Nonsense, Peter. You'll be like this forever. You will be loved and adored by all.
Oh, God.
Speaking of sharks, seamless branded integration back into wrestling news segue. Meltzer continued, saying a lot of people behind the scenes in WWE wanted Cody versus Reigns at Mania even before the fan backlash happened, and didn't want Rock to get that spot. But The Rock was going to get that spot unless he volunteered not to have it, because he's going to get what he wants. So it seemed the only way to stop The Rock main eventing this year's Mania against Reigns was to create a situation where Johnson would be forced to change it himself. Sounds like a pretty high-level 4D chess kind of game being played there. Some kind of real cerebral assassin-style plot. Let me just check who WWE's head of creative is right now, who would have booked Cody to win the Rumble and would have been building that Cody rematch for a whole year before Rock's return. Oh yeah, it's the literal cerebral assassin Triple H! He with the long-standing professional rivalry with The Rock. Meltzer continues. No one in WWE can say anything bad about The Rock publicly, but there are people who are very resentful of him going, "I came back and wrestling's cool," after WWE had a tremendous year. The idea that he's trying to take credit for this resurgence that happened a year before he came back. That tremendous year that Triple H was the creative force behind. Perhaps that's why the real person who got put over most at WrestleMania 40 wasn't Cody, it was Paul Levesque all weekend. I did a video essay recently on Triple H and The Rock's weirdly mirrored careers, and how there's a recurring pattern of Levesque working really hard at something for The Rock to just come in and get the opportunity above him. Here's a clip. But backstage, their paths to get there had been polar opposites. Johnson one day just decided to take up pro wrestling, and he made a huge WWF debut 8 months later. It had taken Triple H 2 years of training, 2 years on the indies, a year in WCW, and almost 2 years in the WWF to reach that same point. That's 7 years where Triple H worked hard, paid his dues, befriended the right people, and took the full brunt of a disproportionate punishment. The Rock got signed off his first match. Put yourself in Levesque's position in the 90s. It's hard not to feel a little bitter, so Paul and his friends apparently decided to make amends for that. They would make Rock's early years in the WWF absolute hell. Back to Meltzer, he does note that the people who were resentful of The Rock taking credit for making wrestling cool again do acknowledge how much he did boost business. But they were also happy that Night 2, the Cody vs Roman match, outdrew the Night 1 main event that had The Rock on it. Apparently, there's a feeling amongst some in WWE The Rock only came back to turn around a losing streak, so to speak. Young Rock got cancelled, some of his movies weren't as successful as hoped for, and WWE was an easy win. WWE Easy Win, title of your next premium live event. Dave acknowledges that it was WWE who approached The Rock with the $30 million offer, though not the other way around, and that him versus Roman had been discussed as far back as 2019. In the very same last week of January that saw The Rock announced he was joining TKO's board of directors and Cody Rhodes winning the Royal Rumble, the wrestling industry suffered one of its darkest stories ever. A former WWE employee called Janelle Grant filed a lawsuit against Vince McMahon, John Laurinaitis, and WWE, accusing Vince of sexual abuse and trafficking. Despite denying the allegations, Vince resigned the very next day and has since sought to sell all of his TKO stock. In the months since, Vince has appointed the same crisis PR company that represented Harvey Weinstein, which was presumably behind the bizarre CNBC article that said Vince came back from a holiday on his private plane with 7 kittens and a puppy, all of which he brought back to be adopted by his friends. Classic Vince move. And has filed a motion to compel arbitration of Grant's lawsuit, which would mean any further developments or discoveries would be kept out of public record. Now, John Laurinaitis, the other individual named in the lawsuit, has joined McMahon's motion to compel arbitration, and that Mr. Laurinaitis corroborates Mr. McMahon in publicly declaring that Miss Grant's allegations of sexual abuse and coercion in her complaint are completely unfounded. My client will fight these false allegations together with Mr. McMahon in the proper form, arbitration. which somewhat jars with Laurinaitis' lawyer's initial public response. Like the plaintiff, Mr. Laurinaitis is a victim in this case, not a predator. The truth will come out. Power, control, employment supervisory capacity, dictatorial sexual demands with repercussions if not met. Count how many times in the complaint Vince exerts control over both of them. Vince's attorney, Jessica T. Rosenberg, has since issued this statement to us at WrestleTalk. Mr. Laurinaitis' attorney confirmed his client will corroborate Mr. McMahon's account and expose the lies within the complaint. Let's move on to some less utterly harrowing news, like 2 major WWE stars potentially returning for tomorrow's Backlash. PW Insider is reporting that John Cena and Charlotte Flair have both been spotted in France, although I don't know how you see the former, hinting both will appear on the premium live event in the country. Otherwise, why would anyone go to France? The latest news on WrestleMania 41 is that it will not be in Minnesota as previously thought. Instead, the show will take place in Las Vegas following the success of the WrestleMania 40 press conference in the same location. And following Ethan Page disappearing from AEW's online roster, which isn't that out of the ordinary actually, people pop on and off that roster page seemingly at random, Fightful Select is reporting he has indeed left the promotion, with his 3-year contract having expired in March 2024. Page had been reportedly looking to leave AEW since February and has since been competing on the independents. Subscribe to WrestleTalk for our Backlash coverage this weekend and go watch my video essay on The Rock vs Triple H right now.